In this video, we'll be looking at redox reactions in water. Redox reactions are a specific type of reversible reaction, and we'll look first of all in this video at what redox reactions are, and then we'll look at exactly how we can manipulate redox reactions to generate electricity and to make rechargeable batteries. So, what is a redox reaction? A redox reaction is one where we've got electrons that move from one substance to another. Okay, and it's got to have two parts in it. It's got to have one which is called reduction and one which is called oxidation. And that's where the name comes from, reduction, oxidation. Reduction is the gain of electrons, oxidation is the loss. You can't have one without the other because electrons are not happy on their own. So you've got to have the two combined, but we physically separate them and we look at them separately. So we look at these as two half reactions that combine to make one overall. Down the bottom there is a little acronym that we use to help us remember what's what. So oil rig stands for oxidation is loss, reduction is gain. And we're talking of course about loss and gain of electrons. The name came from a reaction with oxygen, so that's why it's called oxidation. So the first ones that we found were oxidation reactions. It's a broader definition now, but we're stuck with that name. The reason we use redox is to keep track of electrons moving in a reaction, and it helps us account for the movement of electrons or the movement of charge in any reaction that occurs. So any redox reaction is made of two half equations, and in each one has an equation where we explicitly write down the electrons. It's just like any other equation, but we want to explicitly show those electrons. So if, for instance, you've got copper losing electrons to become the copper ion, then we start with copper metal, which is what we've got on the left here, CuS, S for solid, and it becomes the copper 2+ ion. That's aqueous dissolved in water. We also make two electrons, and what we've done there is we've balanced out the charge. Okay, 2+ and 2- gives us an overall charge of 0, and on the left we've got an overall charge of 0. Those electrons could be used to reduce something else, like for instance silver ions. Silver plus needs just one electron to become silver metal. If we wanted to, we can then combine these two half equations to make an overall redox equation. Now remember we said that electrons are not happy on their own, so the electrons that are gained has to be equal to the electrons that are lost. So our copper gives us 2 electrons, so we need 2 silver ions for it to react with. So the whole second equation gets multiplied by 2. So 2 silver ions plus copper gives us 2 atoms of silver metal and copper ions. The electrons have to cancel out, so when you've got your final equation, they're not going to be seen.